I call the shots, I never call it quits. Trust my intuition, bet it's right and bitch it often is. Seen too many others come and go, they had the wrong intent. Do it out of love and never for it, then I watch it get bigger than expected. No second guess it, I let it set in. It's God's plan, we out here only accepting blessings. I'm stuck with it, this mindset is terminal. In and out different terminals, leveling up is personal. And I already made it, y'all can miss me. I smack my girl's ass, tell her pinch me. It's hard to believe I made something from nothing. No hindsight discussions, I've been writing, I love it.
Ooh, welcome to the 3 Gig Sports Podcast, where we are never wrong, just sometimes misinformed. We got a full house in the garage tonight, and what is up tonight, boys?
Well,
pretty exciting crowd.
I'm prepping myself for a third shift, so
Oh, nice.
I'm so happy,
Good.
glad.
Good times. You don't need sleep.
A lot of yeah, that's another thing too. I forgot another thing I was gonna bring up to you, gentlemen. Bryce Harper. You guys seen he came back after 159 days from Tommy John. The next closest was like 182 or something like that. It's highly impressive.
You gonna play first base?
Yeah,
For a little bit for the Phillies, yeah.
It's a freak, man.
That's kind of doing a little bit of Adrian Peterson-esque, because that was a big
steroids, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Hey, it worked for him. He got an MVP, baby.
Let's go.
We'll take
Let's
it.
go.
Yeah, something like that, or some of that shit where you can go overseas and do some kind of.
Yeah, stem cell.
Yeah.
I think he's an idiot. Should have stayed home. Gus, did you already sign the contract?
Get it 100% healthy.
Yeah. Some people like to do it for the love of the game, like you should do for Zimpro, and just start lifting bags with your hernia.
I've been trying. I'm looking at the chomps.
Chomping at the bit.
Yeah, chomping at there. Chomping at the bit.
That's just the rabies going on.
Just clean out the phone with the microphone.
Everything's okay. Everything's okay. Everything's okay.
So, I do want to touch on this a little bit, though. I just started looking it up myself. I've seen that they've been doing it for a little bit, but the Paris protesters, shit got a little crazy. 112,000 people protesting. Buildings getting obviously torched down. Cops getting seriously fucked up. In fact, one of them got pretty damn fucked up with a Molotov cocktail. That's how gangster they're getting over there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, all those people over there, that continent is just the the pros of protests and getting after it, right? The French Revolution and all that kind of stuff there. They're just pros.
Right. I'm like, where was this fight when you're sitting there trying to keep it?
Right? So Europe is just kind of good at that kind of thing.
Yeah. Evidently started over them going up 2 years in their retirement age, 62 to 64. There's other stuff that go into it, but that was a big key part. So.
Boy,
112,000 people, though.
Wonder what they would do if they found out their election was rigged. Damn.
Don't know. Maybe it
Let's
has
just start
been, whatever.
something.
What would possess, maybe it was something like that, though. Because what would possess you to change something that you know is going to piss people off? Do you think the people were asking for retirement age to go up a couple years before they sent their elected officials in? I'm going to bet you guess no.
Imagine if you're 61. 60 years old, whatever.
And you're just like, yeah. And then you're just watching TV like, motherfuckers.
I'm going to burn this fucker to the ground.
Right? Like Miles said, in their wheelchairs. They're like, I'm burning this shit to the ground.
Man, I just want them to fuck the Tyler up. Just fuck it up.
No, that's Rome, right? Eiffel Tower.
Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, just fuck
Oh, we know.
Oh.
Don't look me in the eyes.
Just
That's
push
weird.
that.
Miss you, Mom.
You have no idea how much that would cost. You have no idea.
She got a French background.
What? French tickler?
I don't know.
What were you looking up over there?
Just their president, who's super unpopular over there, seems pretty familiar, but
what?
He basically pushed that through. There wasn't any kind of democracy, so he actually pushed that through to make it 64. That's part of the reason too. So the entire country feels like their representative democracy is horseshit right now. So
this is really weird, eerie.
Yeah. Seen a lot of parallels here, but
Do you think he's visited?
USA.
Yeah.
Do you think he's visited an island?
I bet you.
Yeah, I bet he has.
I bet you.
Yeah, pull him
Yeah.
up. Let me look at his
Dude,
face.
I can't. I started looking up. You look up one time. I'm telling you, it's just like the flat Earth thing. But the same thing. If you look up like the Epstein list, all of a sudden your shit just gets fucking bombarded with a bunch of stuff. Like what is that? The submarine that was going between islands because there's no log for that and shit, so that you could secretly. They're saying like Bill Clinton, and he obviously was on flights, but there's like one where he was going to the island right next to it, but then they would take the submarine, and during his presidency, take the submarine over to.
What happened on the other
Epstein's.
island?
The Epstein's. The other one was, hey, we're just neighbors. I don't know what you do over there.
Oh,
type of
okay.
thing.
Oh,
But we got a
gotcha.
submarine.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You're getting over to the other
We
fucking
all
island.
live in your
The cool
submarine.
thing is there's besides the names on that list, they have access to his personal calendar. And so there was two big names. I can't remember the other one right now, but the one big name that's out there was the former director of the CIA. Had like personal like name mentioned in the fucking calendar meetings with him, but was never on the logs. So it's like how many other people weren't on the logs. So they're digging through his calendar to figure out who else had met with him. But that is a pretty big fucking deal when you talk about the CIA is the most powerful group in our fucking country.
Oh, yeah,
period.
mob.
Yeah.
Don't tell me
So
mob.
when you talk about that motherfucker being there meeting with him, it's like, man, this shit goes so deep.
So if you're the director of the CIA and you're going to this island and you know a bunch of other important people that go to this island, couldn't you get them fake passports? You could get them you could fake anything. You could change the flight logs if you're the director of the CIA.
Yeah, so I'm actually I didn't even think about it like that, but because why would you be so honest with the flight logs that you couldn't have like somebody manipulate them in the first place? Like you don't have some high personnel person, you know?
Yeah, they're
I'm
not
with you.
like they're not paying the pilots.
To keep quiet.
Right.
Yeah, but why keep the honest flight log? Then?
Why they? Whoa! The pilot was Bill Clinton, anyways. Don't you guys know how he got his start? Flying drugs back and forth from Mexico.
See, I think that was I think that was his way
No, that's not a
of
stretch.
his out.
There's
Epstein's out, right? He kept track of everything. Maybe the people knew about him, maybe they didn't, but his way of, you know, if he ever got in a bind, like, well, I have this log of you visiting where I got in trouble at.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Oh, you mean like where he doesn't exist anymore?
Yeah. Well, he got unalive because
he was
there was too many people
You
that
mean
he had visited.
he suicided?
No, he was in a bind. He was in a bind.
No, man, the cameras went out and he killed himself.
Yeah, definitely.
The guards
Yeah.
were asleep. It all makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
and one of them,
Right? Are you following?
Yeah,
Jimmer?
yeah.
Okay.
No, that
one of the guards is a federal employee now
weird. Well, his cleanup job was excellent.
because they got rid of
Maybe that was just 20 plus years of hard service with a stellar rap sheet.
Yes.
Yeah, I bet it was real hard going to Epstein's Island. Anyways, he got the two guards were set to go to trial, and the judge dismissed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now one of them's a federal employee, and that's from and now the crazy stuff is to see what all Tucker Carlson's going to start releasing about Fox News. He got signed to that OE.
Yeah, a decent contract. Like, there's no holds barred at all, I guess, is kind of how I read. Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing restricting what he can or can say or.
I gotta
report.
imagine he had to sign something with Fox.
Non-disclosure?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Most likely, if you let go of an employee like that, there's probably something tied to it.
Well,
Yeah, well, I think he would have came out with anything like that, like right away, if it was
Right,
just
if it was
pure
going to-
scorned.
yeah.
But maybe he's looking into what he's getting at. Maybe as his attorney's looking into it. Hey, they're tarnishing my name, so they already opened this up.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, like how that works, man. So if you know something, but you can't come forward with it, you just have to lead the dogs in the right direction, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you're like, hey, you might want to go check this out. Go look into this, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he's got a lot of that, I imagine, and a lot of people over there. So
Mm.
we'll see.
Sorry for the detour, gentlemen. I thought it was insane. 112,000 people, Molotov cocktails. We're just fucking
Right.
rolling.
Epstein, it's crazy.
And Epstein. It all ties together somehow.
It all
Somehow.
Somehow,
the
somewhere.
world.
It's
Dinosaurs.
interesting. Like, how the fuck do we... Oh, yeah, because you brought in the president of France. As we're it started.
Anyways,
This-
dinosaurs, folks.
This time on Gilligan's Island.
So before we get into too much sports stuff, here's my one big thing that I want to make sure we bring up. Do you see what Ngannou's doing right now?
Ngannou.
So Francis Ngannou. So he is talking to other promotions, MMA promotions as well, not just like trying to find somebody to box. He's actually talking to other promotions right now too.
So the boxing thing isn't going through like he thought. Is that what I'm reading?
Yeah,
Is that what you're
like
saying?
you're not. There's no leverage anymore. You know what I mean? Like if you leave the UFC, he was going to be one of the top 8 guys no matter what, even though he sucks. Like you're going to find a top 5 boxer, right, to go make a mega fucking mill, and then maybe come back. You know, now you're the guy. Maybe you can make more money. But now he's actually at the point where he's talking to like PFL and shit and trying to. I don't understand the move. It's messy.
Is that maybe because he couldn't find somebody for that big high ticket because they don't want to take the shot of because that's a big man, right? I mean, like we have talked about that. It's basically how he has gotten his wins. Like he's a big, strong man, and like you get in there boxing. I mean, even if they're highly professional, they've been trained for decades or whatever. Of boxing doesn't mean you don't catch one of those big old hands.
Yeah,
that you get dropped. I mean, I don't know if it's worth a payday for them. That's what I'm getting at. Right. I'm just trying to play a little devil's advocate on it.
I don't think he's big enough yet. I don't think he's big enough. If it was
he
John
was
Jones, he'd immediately get somebody. It'd be a payday.
Well, yeah, wouldn't it be
massive? I mean, just look at Nate Diaz and Jake Paul going at it.
I don't think Ngannou ever had that name.
I don't think so either.
Totally, yeah.
I mean, let's think about it, really. I mean, since Brock Lesnar left, the heavyweight division has been, right? It used to be king. Everybody tuned in for the heavyweight. It was a headliner, and it's basically fallen off, and nobody's been there until really Jones is going to heavyweight. Oh, okay, heavyweight's cool again, right? Ngannou wasn't that guy even to bring it back, So, I just think wrong move totally. It could potentially cost him millions,
100%.
Do you guys see where UFC's youngest fighter got caught? What do you call it? You can't call it that. Where you knock on the door and you take off running?
Ding dong dishing?
Yeah,
ding dong ditch.
Yeah.
I know.
What?
God damn it! I know where you.
Miles is from
call it
Kentucky.
that.
You guys.
He's
Miles
from
is
Kentucky. No. God damn it! Go ahead.
Just keep going, Miles.
Keep going.
I said I don't know what I said.
I know. Keep going.
What the hell?
He got caught on video running away, and he's living his best life at 17.
UFC's
fucking hilarious.
UFC contract. You're out there ding dong ditching.
Yeah.
All right.
Baller.
I like it.
I knew what it was called, guys. Jeez, calm down.
No, you literally said I can't call it that, so you guys have a different name for it. That's what I'm laughing at. Can't call it that. Isn't that how you said it?
Yeah.
That's not.
I
how
know.
it,
I think I know what you were gonna say.
Me
think.
too.
I
Allegedly.
have no idea, but I'm guessing it's bad.
No,
I couldn't
see,
imagine.
Sandy, they're what's wrong with the world.
Danny's the one who texted me it, actually.
Assuming.
Dude, you can't do that anymore. Fucking ring doorbells. Everyone has
yeah.
fucking cameras.
Oh, yeah. There's cameras everywhere.
There's cameras everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't know how anyone hasn't had like a fucking like choose somebody out like.
No,
You're
unless
telling-
you steal from Walmart or a bank where the picture's fuzzy as fuck. They're like, can you identify this, man? It's a picture you can't even tell. It looks like it's painted in watercolor like kindergartner. You're like, who the fuck? Yeah, and they're like, please help us identify.
Yeah,
but everyone else?
But
No.
everyone else's
Yeah.
camera right
They can
outside there
tell
is
how many-
clear-cut.
yeah.
They call how many hairs you got on your fucking shit.
Exactly.
The whole works. But what's shocking is you don't have like, I'm surprised somebody hasn't went a different route. Like, yeah, you might be innocently putting a camera in the front of your house. Is it pointed at another house that may be a bedroom too?
Yeah, I'm sure people do it. Yeah.
That's just fucking weird. That's what I'm saying. I think cameras are taking over the world. We don't need them fucking everywhere. Like, are we kidding right now?
I once watched a kid. Well, I didn't watch him do this, but he took a
Hold on.
he took a crap
Reevaluate
and
the story.
he put it in the principal's mailbox, and we took glow sticks and we busted it on him right there at the scene, and he went to school with glow sticks still all over him. And you know the principal seen the mailbox with all the glow stick on it, and I'm just like, hey, you're caught.
It's kind of like robbing the money. You get the blue paint blasted on you.
Oh,
Right.
it's
Blue dye.
Oh, it's so funny.
Yeah.
And then our principal tries to say, I got that fecal matter traced back to you.
Imagine. He knows.
Oh, he knew it. He just didn't. He didn't want to do anything about it.
But yeah, I just want to bring up the Ngannou thing. I think they're fucking up. His management team's not doing.
He's not getting very good advice.
No, not very good advice. Yeah.
I don't even know who that guy is.
He was the champion before he got injured.
They
and then
stripped him, and
I think he still had it, and then they stripped him because he wasn't fighting again.
yeah.
Right? Yeah. He was the heavyweight champion. He's probably the closest, like he was saying, polarizing heavyweight since. I mean, I'm not saying he was like way up there, but that's probably the closest one they've
That's
had.
who John Jones. That's after he won his fight. They were.
It was going to be those two.
Yeah, they were showing
right?
him,
or they were trying to.
And
Yeah, but then he wanted more money and fight and this and that, and they were like, "Fuck yeah, we're gonna."
I'll tell you what. I've never seen a man more scared. Like usually when they show him in the stands, they're like, "Come on, let's go." This guy's just like, "No."
Yeah, he just never fought, man. Like once every year and a half or something, you'd see him. Which is, how are you going to develop a name with that? You know, even with the hardest punch in the entire world, doesn't matter.
Right.
Like if people don't see you,
Right, they tend to forget about you. That big gap. We'll continue rolling. You guys did see that Jokic finally got knocked off the MVP, right?
he did.
Mr. Joel Embiid finally brings home his first MVP after coming in second the last 2 years to Joker. Well deserved.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, most likely.
I wouldn't have been upset with either one, to be honest.
That's crazy to think he finished second twice in a row and then he won it. That tells you the
High level
he's
play.
playing at.
Yeah, high level play.
He took his. So he has. I'll tell you guys that he. He led the league in scoring again. He led the league in scoring last year also, but he was up to 33.1 points a game, 10-something rebounds, 4 assists, almost 2 blocks a game on one of the better teams in the league, which also brings you to a flashback of the old James Harden just literally willing that team over the Boston Celtics.
45 points.
And he was playing some defense too late in the game. I'm like, where was that guy his whole career, right?
Who was that? Was that Tyrese Maxey that ran down the floor and scored with 29 seconds left?
Yeah, they pitched the ball right to him, like because they were trying to just kill some time.
And I was just like, no. But then I was like, okay, you're going 2 for 1, but you're not guaranteed that next shot. So when he did that, I was like, shit.
Yeah, that was awesome.
The MVP voting, by the way, was Embiid won by enough of a margin, 915. The next two closest were really tight, though, 674, 606, because Giannis was third in that. It's one of the tightest MVP races, even all the way through. I mean, yeah, he ultimately won with 915 votes or whatever, but it's pretty damn tight. Was like the most in how many ever years of people averaging over 30 points a game this year. It's a crazy amount of offense. So.
Is that the same people voting in first, second, third, fourth, fifth quarters?
Yeah, no, in the quarters. Those are place votes. So you put a place vote on each player that you're voting on.
Why is that many people voting?
All sports writers.
Yep.
I'm a sports writer. I want to vote.
Oh, we're close.
Hey, we're getting there.
Good.
Close.
Good.
My vote. You're good.
I'm gonna vote for.
No unanimous. Yeah.
What's Monk and
Steph was the only unanimous, right?
Who
I think
did-
he's the only
Monk
in history.
Monk
I think it
and,
was. Because Shaq got
Fox.
Aaron Fox.
yeah, De'Aaron
Shaq got
Fox.
hosed.
Yeah,
As one. It was one vote away.
Yeah, I probably went to Kobe. That's probably why I hated
No
him.
went to Nash, I think, right? I think they threw one to Nash. The one writer threw one. He's the only one that did it. That being said, if Embiid doesn't come back, and he's not even guaranteed to come back for Game 2, do you think the Sixers can hold on? That they could continue to do this?
yeah,
Think so?
yeah, definitely.
It's
Even if they don't win, they already stole one, right? So he should sit, as far as I'm concerned. Let the next game play out, and then come back healthy in Game 3. You're at home, go up 3-1 at that point after you win a couple or at home, and then fucking roll. But I was impressed by. I've never been a big Harden guy, and he's kind of taken a step back in Philly, which I didn't know if that would even be possible. But then after the game, so he played defense, which you mentioned.
Yep.
After the game, though, he was like telling the teammates to shut the fuck up. He's like, it was one game, guys. It's one game. Stop celebrating. Like before his interview, I don't know if you saw that at the end of the game, but he's literally yelling at his team, like, shut up. It's one game. Like, go back to the locker room or whatever. So, like, he realizes, he's starting to.
He's been there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
so
he's had leads.
I like that. That says a lot to me about Harden.
You realize it because Boston's going to win this no matter what. So.
Okay, so Chris going the other way. No shot.
I don't think. I think Harden. No, they need Embiid. If they're going to win it, they need him to come back and do his thing. I mean, he's an MVP. There's a reason for it. Yeah, they're going to need him to do that. I mean, look how close the game was without Embiid, and some stuff falling their way, and Harden having just a miraculous night, 45 from him. I mean, that team is not going to win him having to do that. I don't think every night,
which is proven over time in his career, right? Like
exactly.
When he was that.
So yeah, I think ultimately Boston does pull this out unless Embiid comes back and can play at an MVP level every night.
Right out of the gate,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What do you think, Miles?
I was just thinking how Harden reminds me of that guy from Malibu's Most Wanted.
Which one?
The guy that was on the Kangaroo movie. And I was just thinking of being at a cookout and just watching my uncle beat up on me on basketball, and it just made me think. I'm sorry, it just made me think of him.
Squirrel.
But I'm thinking it's gonna go to 7 games though. 7-game series. It's got the vibes. It's got the views. It's got
star power.
It's got the script.
Embiid should come back at some point during, no matter what. And then at that point, obviously, 76ers get stronger and they can start winning games. So they're going to need him to come back and play at his high level.
Okay. Keep rolling. This one was funny to me, okay? And that is, I don't know if you guys actually seen the comments from him, but it looks like sources are saying the Grizzlies do not intend to re-sign Dylan Brooks. Now, the quote, I'll bring it up. And this is the reason why it was funny to me, because normally you don't see these quotes, right? I've been an NBA fan for a long time since I was a kid. I don't remember ever seeing it quite like this, especially for like a role player. Like it isn't like they're talking about Morant or something, right? But it's almost like they went out of the way to talk about him, but not say him. They said, we're going to take a different approach as it pertains to trash talk next season, the GM, Zach Kleiman, said. You'll see a different approach from this team, but at the same time, confidence is important. There's a line there, certainly. Yeah. Obviously, they're not talking Morant when it came to, like, I know he made that statement at the start of the season. Right? Like, about the West is easy or whatever, however you worded that.
Yeah. Yep.
No problem or...
Not worried about the West.
Not worried about the West.
I think this is all Brooks and his trash talking LeBron, but then ultimately come out flat.
Yeah,
and,
like you didn't back anything up, and it kind of smashed the team, right?
Yeah, it just kind of backfired horribly. Didn't even come close to what you were trying to portray as being, and as a tough guy you were trying to portray, and
and just minuscule. Like every game after that, what was he? It was stupid low field goal percentage. He couldn't shoot to save his life. He wasn't stopping.
He couldn't lock anybody up. It was just all the trash talk to ultimately not even come close to backing it up. And it's just not a good look.
Have you ever seen a GM say, like, in a roundabout way, talking? You guys took it that way, right? Like that's kind of what they were talking about.
Yeah,
that's how I took it, right?
Yeah.
So, have you ever seen a GM talk about a role player like that without saying their name?
No,
I don't think so.
No, because even you think about the fiery ones,
Pat
always
Beverly.
backed it up, or they could produce, or they could, Pat Beverly. Even though the team would lose, he would still produce. He'd clamp down a guy. He would, score 19 or something like that, and not Dylan Brooks.
Did you see the did you see the video where Anthony Davis swats Dylan Brooks, And then LeBron standing right next to Anthony Davis, and Brooks turns around to say something to Anthony, and LeBron and him were like this. And he just puts his head down and keeps
I
walking.
did see that.
I thought it was pretty funny.
I thought it was kind of funny because it almost seemed like they were tag teaming on him like the rest of the series after that. Like, literally, they'd walk him down the court, like, staring at him and shit like that.
Well, that's probably
Like,
why
you're
you
done-
couldn't back it up.
You're saying dumb shit, though.
Yeah.
Like, you shouldn't be that guy. If Morant wants to be that as your leader, if he wants to, like, you
Right, then
can't be
he's
that. And then not show up
He's
huge.
a superstar, getting paid like a superstar. He's the leader of the team. If he's playing and doing that
That's
and producing, then that's one thing. But
that'd be like exactly. That'd be like that'd be like your wide receiver talking shit to the defensive lineman, but you don't have to face the defensive lineman. Your offensive lineman does. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like hold on, you're
Right.
pissing my dude off that I need to block.
right, and he's whooping my ass.
Like, come on, man, man.
Yeah.
Like, keep your mouth shut.
Has he got blood in his knuckles? Does he have blood in his knuckles?
Yeah, Pat Bev's a good comparison. I think I compare it to Lance Stevenson a little bit more. Like, but Lance Stevenson could back it up though.
Lance
he
good
was
ball.
a stud,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like he did that annoying shit. Like remember the blowing in his ear
Yeah,
and all
yeah,
that stuff,
yeah.
right? To fuck with him, but he could do something besides
Right.
that. He's really productive.
He'd go out and get his 20-something points or whatever, and
Right.
yeah, the blowing the kisses and blowing
Yeah.
all that
Yeah.
shit, tie and shoot.
You know what?
J.R. Smith.
yeah,
J.R. Smith
J.R.
used to
Smith
do that
could.
shit,
Yes.
and then he'd back it up.
Meta good ball, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at least at bare minimum cinch their guy down, right?
Right,
Like
yeah,
Meta
yeah.
would at least lock his dude down, bare minimum. You're not popping off on me if I'm
Right.
running my mouth, right?
exactly.
And if not, I'll go into the stands.
Yep. Everybody getting it.
Everybody gets some.
But they do need some more veterans in that locker room, man.
They do.
They've got to be able to be like, shut the fuck up and play ball. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it
and that
needs to be
goes
respected.
to everybody. not-
Everybody.
so-
Crunch time, you know, you don't piss off, you know, arguably one, you know, the best player in the NBA, best player in history. Yeah, so just veteran presence needed all up and down that locker room.
Yeah, you just don't do it.
No.
He doesn't have the killer instinct, LeBron, as like a Kobe or a Jordan when it comes to that part. Like, they probably would have put up 60 on you, like, right after.
Yeah.
But it's still, you don't go poke the bear. Like, when you do piss him off, when you piss off the best player in the game at the current time, like all around, that's not ever a good thing. That doesn't pan out well. The dude the next game went out 20 and 20. He's never grabbed 20 rebounds in a game in the play. You know what I mean? Like, you just don't do it, you know, unless you can literally back it up. And he didn't. So I just thought it was kind of funny that the GM actually went out of his way to.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
So-
would be a good fit for him.
I wonder.
What are his? I'm gonna look up his actual
Um,
stats besides that bullshit.
So he his season field goal percentage for this year was actually a weak ass 34%.
Yep.
Which, when you're a 3-and-D guy, I always think like 37, 38, 39, even higher, right?
Yeah.
That's what you think. At least that's what I think. For him, it would have to be obviously where he's at already, but learn to grow up. Maybe I hate to say it, but maybe like the Warriors. You know what I mean? Like, if he gets into that culture.
Yeah. Yeah.
If-
Somebody.
that might not be bad because Draymond's probably gone after this season anyway.
You get a little dude, you get a little defense. If you get him into the culture mindset, and they have strong enough other personalities, be like, hey,
Sure.
shut the fuck up.
Right. Like a Heat maybe or something.
Yeah, he
you know,
with Jimmy Butler, who will
Butler and
keep you.
Spoelstra that will keep you in check. That
You know,
Because
do not send him to the Timberwolves, who don't have
No,
anybody
yeah.
in check up there.
you know, a boss. I don't know what they're,
That-
money wise, but a team that's been doing some things that have some leaders on their team that'd be like, hey, shut up and sit down, do your job, or you can get walking papers.
I do have another one. Go ahead.
who's the Warriors guy that keeps causing shit on the bench? Not Draymond.
Jordan Poole.
Yeah, so Jordan, they'll just swap those two.
No,
I
they just
don't-
paid Poole.
They did.
Didn't they just?
pay
Yeah.
They
Poole.
just paid Poole. So.
Yeah. But I seen the same videos that you're talking about. Like, he's ignoring his teammates, like, going by. I don't know if you guys saw that. Like, he's ignoring Draymond. Steph had to go up to him and be like, hey. And Draymond wasn't doing anything wrong. He was just kind of trying to stick his hand out for like a high five or whatever
Well,
on the way.
Draymond-
in.
And he like pushed him off. And,
Draymond-
like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Draymond
Yeah.
did punch him in the face, though.
Yeah, that's been a long time
And he
ago.
gave
That
him-
was training camp.
And he concussed him.
And he did concuss him.
Yeah.
Actually, the other one is the Suns. Especially losing Bridges in that trade when they sent him over to the Nets, something like that. And then Chris Paul, with his attitude, would be able to help keep that in check.
He's got to retire.
I don't think so. Not when you have KD, right? Like that one. No, not when you have a legit shot.
Yeah,
Your
give you
legit
a
shot is
full
Kevin
off
Durant.
season and everything. Yeah.
I'll give you that.
Depends on his injuries, man. His injuries,
They
the
do keep
timing
piling
for
up.
his injuries are always the worst.
They are. They're right in the heart of this. We were going to talk about that game too. They're down 0-2 to the Nuggets. They were ahead at the point in the third quarter, in which Chris Paul did. I think it's his ankle. Did something to his ankle or knee again, and then they ended up losing the game. The Fire left the building.
Never a good thing, foot injury. Yeah, could be done.
No bueno.
Dylan Brooks got paid $35 million over 3 years. Like, that pisses me off when I see NBA salaries like that.
Well, yeah. Well,
He's not
I think we
good.
talked about it. It was because they were shelling money out to just anybody. We're like, who the fuck is getting $40 million? Like,
Yes.
That's because the beautiful work. That's the reason why they need the NBA players and the NBA union to take over the NFL union, because I don't know if you guys know this, right? The NBA players get 53% of the revenue. Over 50%. Where do you ever see that? Where the employer or the employee gets over 50% of the revenue, of the profit, I should say, or however you want to put that, right? 53%. That's a huge ass chunk. But in that, well, this is all on the players. The players were able to deal that in there. You have to spend so much of your money. So there's a salary cap, but you have to spend so much of it. So now at some point you have to pay. And you only can they have max dealings on how much you can pay your best player or the best players.
Yeah,
so you have to divvy that up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
Unfortunately, you got to divvy it. That's just beautiful work by the union, in my opinion. I mean,
Yeah, really.
it's like, unless you turn it to where the superstars can get even more so that you're not seeing that 40, 50 million 3-year deal to guys like that.
Yeah, like I could do what he did for
Right.
Right. I can launch some threes. I could talk shit, poke the bear.
Yeah.
You
Dude,
know,
I could foul people. I can collect 5,000. Like an hour and a half.
I'll do it for half.
Let's go. I'll do it for half. Let's go. 20 million. Let's go. You'll get 5 of me every game, guaranteed.
Let's be honest. The real contract all of us sitting here could have gotten is the wide receiver for the Giants. We could have gotten that contract.
Kenny Golladay's?
Yes.
Yeah.
Zero catches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
We
I think he
coulda-
finally got his first one this last year. Is that what it was?
We could have done the same stats.
Yeah.
Mine would have been on a bubble screen, and I would have took off screaming to the sideline, not upfield.
It would have been negative yards for sure.
So, yeah, you'd be wearing a different kind of helmet for a while.
You team me football?
No, man, you just got to slide. Every time you touch the ball, you slide down. Just go down.
Go down.
Just go down.
You don't hit me.
No, they still gonna hit you. It's still live.
No, it could be defenseless players, so they have to come up and actually touch you.
Yeah.
To the best of their ability. So you're just going down.
Right.
Seen it happen
Teammates
a
might not
few
be happy,
times.
but
Right. If I get stomped out that way. There is a resolution coming, gentlemen, finally after, it's been a little over a year. Ex-Raiders wide receiver Henry Ruggs set to plead guilty in the fatal DUI case.
Do we know details?
Yes. So nothing gets approved until you go to court with this, because the judge can literally say, "Fuck you, we're not doing that. We're sticking with this." They can do that at any point.
Yep.
You know, they can actually upcharge you too at any point when it comes to sentencing. Okay.
Deferred judgment.
What the case is, they're dropping every charge
What?
except for the DUI death. So it'll be 3 to 10 years in prison.
Oh,
Yeah.
so he's gonna get all
he's
10.
getting minimum 3, maximum 10.
He's getting all 10.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt it too.
Doubt it. That is, think about that for a second. And I know accidents happen, and we make poor choices. People make poor choices regularly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And especially when you're young, you get an assload of money like that. Yeah, like shit can happen, right? Like, I'm not trying to sentiment, but the woman is no longer walking this planet, and in 3 to 10 years, you'll be back out after a really, really horrible choice, and you actually injured your passenger too. You know, the girl that was with him on top of that. But yeah, 3 to 5 years. It looks like 3 to 10 years. He has to the 8th Judicial District Court for a hearing on May 10th when he's expected to formally plead guilty. And then there'll be a sentencing.
Well,
date.
the only thing I don't like about any of this is that he's still eligible for a driver's license after this. After his 3 to 10 years, I know people that have lost driver's license for less.
If you're going to let him out of prison, why wouldn't you let him have a driver's license at that point?
Because they want to drop the speeding charge is what pisses me off. How are you going to drop that? Okay, I can't get out of a
Because somebody died. Like if there's one that's got to stick with me, it's got to be the death part of it, right?
No, I understand that, but the leading factor, he was intoxicated and speeding,
Yeah.
okay?
Yep.
And the death. Whatever happened in the other, like, okay, so they dropped 2 of them? Or
They dropped 2. Yeah, I think you're right. It was 2 out of the 3. I think there's 3 charges.
yeah,
He was driving 100 and reached speeds of 156 miles per hour.
now let me and you go do that and not kill somebody. Okay?
Right.
That's what I'm stating.
Yeah. 150. Well, it was crazy then. They let him out on a $150,000 bond way back then, too.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. It is. What are your first thoughts of that?
Feel bad for the family of the gal, right? That sucks. I feel like even 10 years isn't enough for what happened.
Her and her dog, by the way. I did forget about the dog.
Yeah.
Dog was in the vehicle. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean that's my first thought. I don't know if it's gonna happen. We'll see. There's a lot of publicity around this, so I don't know if the judge will feel pressured to be like, no, we're gonna do this, or we're gonna just proceed with the court process. But 10 years even as a max, that doesn't seem like enough.
Because
What do you think?
10 years is technically 5, right?
No, that's Iowa.
Okay.
I don't know about Nevada. In Iowa, you get sentenced. You go to Oakdale. Oakdale cuts it in half right away.
Okay.
Depending on, as long as it's not a violent charge. But if it's normal, you go there half.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's bad thing. Whole deal that happened, and a woman and her dog, and just some people make bad choices, when they're young, and you give them that much amount, money, and they think they're untouchable. And I'm sure at Alabama he was getting plenty of dollar bills and getting to do whatever he wanted to. Probably not much structure outside of Nick Saban's facility. So I do agree that 10 years is probably pretty light. At the same time, if they're going to do their time and do the whatever the repercussion is, and they get out, you have to give them a driver's license. Let them, if they do the time for the crime they did and committed, then you have to, driver's license and get.
Maybe you have to have a breathalyzer in there for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
if that's
something.
what
I
it
mean,
needs to be,
to try to get back to normal life. I'm sure he's, not making the NFL at any point. So, it's just, and it sucks. And what it's going to be, I think it's a little bit light on the sentencing and whatever. But if he does his time and like he's supposed to, let him out. And
You don't think there's a shot he could make it to the NFL again?
Do you want to roll the dice on? I mean, we already talked about pretty light. What is the big time, lashback that you're gonna get for?
I'm actually gonna say yes. So if he only does 3 years, he'll be 27 years old, right? And they might even be sooner than that, depending on how they work their things. Like in Nevada, like I said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 3 to 10, but maybe there's other stuff. There's good time. There's all kinds of shit that go into it, right?
Yeah.
I actually say yes. I think he would get a shot at that point. You've done your time. They've let other people make it on rosters for pretty fucked up shit. We'll say it like that. I'm not saying literally someone died.
Yeah.
But there has been some question marks around some other people when someone just so happened to die when you were around. I think he would get another crack at it. I think my more interesting question would be: would you be upset with your team if they did take a crack on him?
Well, I wouldn't be upset because he'd be the same age as Stetson Bennett when he got out. Or actually, Stetson Bennett would be older than him because he's got to add 3 years onto that.
Yeah, how old did you say he was?
Stetson, I think he said he's going to be 26 when the league started.
26, so he's already Yeah.
So he'll be younger than Stetson Bennett when he gets out of prison. That's crazy. It's absurd. Nah, I don't want him in the league. Not because of. I believe he deserves a second chance, but
in life, but not. You had your shot at the millions of dollars, at the extravagant lifestyle, and you showed. Hey man, it's too much for you.
And
Okay,
I don't,
sorry, that's your shot. One shot.
So
somebody else deserves.
So what
it.
you're saying is it would bug you if the Cowboys
Yeah, it would.
did.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'd bug me too. I'm not saying that. I do believe somebody will take a shot. It would bug me if.
I mean, there's plenty
signed
of
him. I'm like,
guys
nah.
in the NFL that, or not even the NFL, that take care of their stuff and they're just outside the fringe. But you had your shot at the millions of dollars and the whatnot, and you had the. Man, you blew it, man. You can come out in society and work a normal job and this and that and whatever. But
I think they need to set an example to a certain extent.
Yeah,
they do, because how do you get people to change or stop doing shit like that?
Especially in Vegas, especially
just-
a baseball team going to Vegas. You got to show these young up and coming players like, hey, it's not cool just because we're in Vegas, which is a loose,
loose laid back city, whatever,
Sin City, so party city, whatever.
It's not gonna be.
Yeah, it's not
gonna
be like that. Yeah,
right. So
It's not how the league works. It's not what they're going to do. They don't give a shit about that. They should do all of that.
no, not the
they
league.
should
Not
do
the
all
league.
of
I
that.
said the judge. I meant the judge. The judge should set the precedent on this. Like we're not taking this 3 to 10. We're going to go beyond that so that it's not acceptable, because you literally just had another player do it.
yeah, but
Like he didn't kill somebody, but he was part of a race that did. I mean, and it was one of his Georgia teammates.
well, I meant
Right?
No, I agree. He was talking about, you got to set the precedent for the players and be like, you can't have this.
Yeah.
You already had a shot. You proved that you don't deserve it, right? That's like the league should do something like that, but they don't. It's about the money, and if a team thinks a player could be good for them, all this shit will blow over by the time he comes out. There's not going to be a ton of backlash. There might be a few people. So if they feel like there's a shot that he could bring something to the table, they're going to do it. I mean, they're focused on gambling and dumb shit, right? But people beat up their wives, or they fucking go to a massage therapist and get jerked off. Like that, none of those type of things matters, no matter what kind of example the NFL tries to set.
unless you're old Ray Rice, right?
Right.
Colin
Absolutely.
Kaepernick. I mean,
Yeah.
Unless you get blackballed for
There's-
weird reasons,
there's-
right?
but you pee in a
Ray
pool.
Rice did beat the shit out of his girlfriend.
I mean, he
Punched
her once.
Punched her once,
Punched
and
her
it was out, and she was out.
She was out. I mean,
Yeah.
I think she got knocked out twice because of the punch, because she hit the railing on the way down.
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying to make light of that, but
Right.
he did. Everyone else that had domestic, and there might even been videos. They've had fucking Joe Mixon is a perfect example. There was video of his stuff, and it wasn't a domestic. It was with a
chick at a bar.
chick at a bar. No matter what she said, right? When it comes to female dude, that's what I'm.
Well, I don't know it. So they.
Can't assume.
I don't want to say they're pulling it, but if you look into it, Joe Mixon, apparently the lady was saying some racist stuff. Same thing with former Chiefs running back. Apparently the lady was saying some racist stuff. Stuff like that. It'll be interesting in the Alvin Kamara stuff. Apparently the guy was saying that stuff too, and it's like, okay, I think they kind of want to tread lightly with that.
Like
some
you
of
do-
those things.
Yeah, but they, yes,
You
yes.
know.
There's no okay with it in any way, shape, or form. I guess I'm not pulling a perfect
if
example.
you look into those, that stuff got dropped by the people being accused. So it's like at that point as a league, what do? You'd be like, well, who cares? There's no exception, or there's a big African American reform kind of deal going on throughout all that. They're not gonna just drop the hammer on something.
Yeah.
Like,
what I'm
it's,
saying?
it's an ugly situation for the NFL to even have to.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know which way to punish, because I don't want to punish you because it's not right for them to be racist, but you shouldn't put your hands on somebody. either,
Yeah. So
that's a tough one.
So let's go to the bar and pick on the biggest fucker there. Okay.
That's always what it is, though. You never see the littler guys or anything like that, like going and starting a fight with another little guy. They have little man syndrome, so they have to go for the guy that's always the fucking bigger one. It always is.
It always is.
How often do you ever see it the other way? If you go look up YouTube right now, you don't have to type in anything other than bar fight. It's going to be average or smaller guy going after and with a bigger guy. It's always happens.
I had somebody say that the bigger guy always picks on the little guy.
Is that what?
Excuse me?
Right. That's right. You got Did
I was like,
you got a monster
I
crust?
was like, we will fight in the warehouse. Hey, like that's cool. Like it'll happen, but if that's how it's gonna play out, that's cool.
we're about to do this. You know, hindsight, you wouldn't have gotten a certain job had you just done it.
That's true. So sorry, my bad. That's on me. Sorry for not taking one for the team there.
Yeah, but you guys good to roll? I do have a pretty good makes sense that you guys said that you don't remember me saying if I did or not. That's with my man Ruby.
No, yeah, go ahead. The Ruben extravagance.
Okay, are you guys are sure that you haven't heard this one? It was about basically.
No, you told us one, so
Okay. So it makes sense if you don't think about it. We had a gentleman that actually was I can flat out say it, had sexually harassed a female at work, and we haven't seen that. And I mean like legit touch,
and
grab.
if she got paid, so he did the same thing to me.
Straight face of shit. So
My
he got
Me Too movement.
so that man while
Look at me.
whoa,
Whoa,
I was like, what the fuck? No, it's my idea. Fuck you.
You jerked me off in the tub.
So somebody did say something to like management and then HR, and it wasn't even her. It wasn't the female that actually was. They felt uncomfortable. Obviously, she felt uncomfortable, but the person that watched and then multiple people. Well, while they're investigating, so they should do their due diligence. You just can't go by word of mouth that someone says something, you just flat out get fired, right?
Yeah.
So you have to look into it.
Touch
research.
the doll where he touched you.
Right. So while they're waiting for this, like while they're doing this investigation, kind of looking into shit, there's a weird 3-4 day period or something like that where dude had been suspended or sent home without pay for, I think maybe even got pay for the first couple days while they were doing it, but wasn't allowed to be there. While this is going on, my man Ruben, without missing a beat, okay,
Let's go.
he's like, you know, if they don't take care of this, I'm gonna go around and start grabbing operators by the dick.
This is starting to add up, actually. Can we stop? Can we pause right there? This is
Yeah,
starting
let's
to
just
add up.
end right there.
Hold on. This is starting to add up.
And
We were
close
talking-
scene.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm like, what the fuck? What? He God damn it. He's like, yeah, just going around, just, right in front of HR. We walk by and just start grabbing dudes' dicks. I'm like, well,
Man, this guy sorta loved you.
Oh yeah. So we got to so someone asked him like, who you going for first? Like you might get knocked out. Someone may hit you. He's like, I'm grabbing James's.
I believe that based on everything, it's all adding up. I believe that.
Yeah. No, I try to keep a fair distance whenever you have to train. I'm like, fuck. Like I got to put the chastity belt on. But regardless, I'm like, dude, no, we don't do it. And I was like, why?
Wear mittens and shit.
Just flat out, I'm like, why? Like, why even grabbing dicks in general? Let alone stay the fuck off mine. I don't know what it is because I had a man grab my shit up at a fucking hotel up there.
It's true. Yeah, what's with you and the gay guys that wear?
No, it's like, wah. but either way, I'm like, why? Like, how is that thing? Stand up for the women. So the sexual harassment says stand up. I'm like, that's how you want to do it? You don't want to do a, hold on. At no point did you say, hey, let's do a sit-in. Like they say,
Yeah,
kick
let's
off, we're
beat
done.
up the guy who did it. Let's,
right.
No,
Or sit, or
the-
just everybody sit. We're not going to work till you get rid of him.
all the manly stuff. No, you want to do some gay ass shit.
You
man.
want to go grab some dicks.
Right? Hey, Ruben likes Bud Light. It's cool.
I just like, insanity, right? Is there other ways you could protest?
So-
it does add up, doesn't it?
It does add up. Jimmer and Ruben
Are
have had the
definitely-
deepest conversations.
Oh, they've had some deep something.
Oh my God, it has been.
Obviously, it's me getting
They-
mine.
Oh, hey, while he's at it, grab his back. See if he's got that monster cock he was talking about.
But all I'm hearing, Miles, is you got to be hearing the same thing. Like Ruben is trying to start the gay chicken at Zenpro.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
He wants to go.
He's trying to start the league.
All right,
Yeah.
opponent one right here.
I
You heard that. You heard that.
I was scared to do it. Didn't know I had any contenders. I thought I was already the champion.
Without even having to grab a dick.
I was walking around with the belt. Let's fucking go. Now, fuck you,
now,
Ruben.
Now you're going to have to put your word where your mouth is.
I'll see him when I walk into work.
Miles and Ruben.
Who's gonna grab who first?
You guys, it's gonna be 3 days.
Joke's on you. I showed up hard.
Here you go. We'll be standing in warehouse B for 3 consecutive days. And Vaughn's like, "You guys are fired. You gotta go home." No,
You'll both be hard as a rock. What are you talking about?
I'm not letting go.
Yeah, let's be real. That's going to be the fastest game of gay chicken.
With the mess.
Yeah,
we don't have to let.
somebody's finishing for sure.
Yeah, we don't have to let go yet. Can we,
Yeah, hold on, another 10
Whoa,
seconds.
whoa.
Wait.
Doesn't mean the game's over, Danny.
Let me move my hips.
Right.
Just keep your hand there.
Yeah, don't mind my hips.
Let me spit. Jesus, stop. Just start standing up. Hey,
Bruce
this
on my
isn't for a
pelvis.
hit. Now when Ruben does this to me, like, you know, the joke of this below your knees got to hit the thing, you know, I'm just going to put my wiener in there.
Damn.
That's aggressive.
But makes sense if you don't think about it. Like,
He's
I
sticking up for the
understand
women.
sticking up for people, but
Yeah.
can we
start a
spitball
tally
a few
mark?
things here first?
Things that Ruben does that he might be gay. That's 2 for sure.
2 for
signs,
sure. 2 for
signs
sure.
that
2 for
Ruby
sure.
is.
Yes, signs that Ruby
2.
could be. Yeah, and that's cool. That's cool.
And he's got little man syndrome.
Hey,
Miles,
I told him
Miles,
that.
one of the other ones
I already
is,
did. I already did tell him. I'm like, dude, there's nothing wrong with that, brother.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that. You do.
Ruben
you,
is
baby.
also afraid to get his body count up.
Yes, so he doesn't want to have a sex with women because
the number
might jump up. He doesn't watch porn because he doesn't want to objectify women.
Yeah, there's number 3.
Actually, this is starting to really.
Hold on, there's more. He was dry fucking this woman.
Yeah, he was dry.
He's an adult.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did not have sex.
Yeah, did not have sex.
Yeah. But then he also thinks his sister's naive enough to
Yeah.
think that they're not doing anything, even though she knows that her friend likes
Why
him.
is this? What? His sister's involved in this now too?
It's a whole family affair.
You know what? You can't help but like the guy though.
Oh, yeah.
He could be whatever he wants.
He's trying to
Well, he
match
can't be
energies.
no matter what. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's trying to match all these Yeah. So therefore,
Yeah.
it's cool,
But-
Ruby. It's cool.
My man.
I'm just glad.
He gives me stories for days.
Just glad he wasn't.
I
getting
told
that
him a long
money.
time ago that I talk about this on there. So it's his way of giving me this shit so that I can. I guarantee it. He doesn't say, hey, go ahead and talk about it. But he knows. So I told him a long time ago, I'm like, by the way, you are ammunition all day. I talk about your ridiculousness. Some of this shit makes sense. Other times, no. This is not one of them.
I'm definitely going to reinforce my, when he was talking about his extra business, if I knew anything about hand job deals. So I'll be like, I'm going to really push it on him. Like, hey, man, yeah, so soft, small hands like you got there. Probably worked really well.
All right, let's assume Miles doesn't challenge him tomorrow morning, which I feel there's a strong possibility he's going to.
Mm-hmm. They already haven't.
Yeah, if they already haven't. He did say he likes him, so I don't know. Next time you and Ruben work together, is it tonight?
No, he's
on
not on my
second.
shift. Is
He's
he
on
on first?
second.
He's second. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's on
Second.
seconds.
All right. So if he does what he said he's going to do, walks up to you.
No, this is. Hold on. This is. But he said way back before he got fired. Before Bulldog got fired.
He was just
If
trying
they
to
didn't, that's what he was gonna do.
see. I think he was just feeling Jim out.
Yeah, just kind of.
No, he didn't tell me.
Act?
He didn't tell me.
Hey.
He told Jesse that part. He
Exact-
didn't tell me it was gonna be
Right,
me.
but he knew it'd make its way around, so he just wanted. He like, what'd he say, man?
Yeah.
What'd he say?
Yeah,
Was
it's a
he
high
into it?
possibility. I'm not.
Was he into it or
I
was
can't
he not?
help who wants to
What-
grab my dick.
Did he
Danny.
look inside
I can't
it?
help that.
I like the enthusiasm on both sides.
Yeah, Jimmer kind of seems into it too. Now that we
No,
think about
hey,
it,
not at all.
There's a lot of.
No,
He's
Danny, I know.
looking
pretty
forward to
hyped
going
up.
into work.
I know this site. We can make a lot of money off this.
Gigs
Listen,
after dark.
Fick Fap.
for now. Still make some money on Fick Fab for now, bro.
Yeah, for now. Hey, you know what? That brings me to my next point. TikTok Live. They'd be like, if you want to see camera view number 3, you got to get on my Instagram. And then you get on your Instagram. And then you got to, if you want to see camera 3, you got to get onto this. And I'm sitting there like,
You went down the rabbit hole, huh?
I did. Never got to camera 3. Make it simpler. Make it simpler.
No, they got the clicks. That's all they used you. It's all about clicks.
Hey,
It's
if
clickbait.
you want
Colleen was telling me some shit that she puts on hers like that. Like she put something stupid on like her TikTok, and then it baits somebody to put a comment. Well, the more comments you get, and then she just keeps acting dumb to the question or whatever, because she said, I am K-pop or something like that. And the next person, you can't K-pop because that's a genre. Obviously, but there's always people that have to argue, like when they're going through. So, well, it bumps her up the FYP or whatever, for your page bullshit. So it gets thrown onto other people's. So it's clickbait. It's not just
slick as shit.
Yeah, but it's the same thing as those that you're talking about. Like click the sound or whatever it says, and click the bio and go to this. All it is you literally clicked on theirs. They have a view somewhere.
She is K-pop?
Dude, you know what's hilarious about this? I come
am
across these all the time on like Facebook usually, I guess it seems like, where it's some kind of math problem.
Yeah.
And there's 8 million comments because people are stupid as fuck, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. They're just getting more comments. They're just going in there, it's 7. And you're like, what the fuck? You're an idiot. And then there's back and forth for days.
Yeah.
That's genius.
It is.
You know what? Let me tell you something.
I just look at
Just on the off chance. Right, I'm looking at the arguments. I'm like, God damn, dude. You dropped the N-word on Facebook?
right over a math problem.
Oh,
Right.
Wow.
You wanna
Holy
hear-
cow. Wow. Where do you work? All right, let me tag them.
They think those math
Shit, they got me too.
they think those math problems are getting me, but I remember, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's how I remembered plus.
Oh, okay.
This,
Division,
Parentheses,
addition,
multiplication,
okay,
division,
I got you.
subtraction.
I got
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I trick them.
Oh,
I give them.
They have so much stupid stuff they're doing nowadays. Orion's like, can you help me do something to explain it to me? I'm like, yeah, shit's easy, bro. Give me that shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, college level fucking mathematicians. Fuck this shit.
Yeah, why are you using
So
a
hard.
triangle to do this
Right.
math problem?
What the
I don't
fuck?
understand. I
Right.
can't do it.
Illuminati.
I tried to do Ken's homework for her a couple years ago, and I think I failed that. She came back, and she's like, Mom, she's like, I need to redo this. And I was like, oh, what happened? No.
You
She's
just
like,
stay
no,
away. You
You
stay
don't
away.
get to help
Yeah, it
with this.
happened to
Well,
me with the Ryan's homework.
Just grab it. And throw it away.
Third grade. He's like, Dad, I got like 4 of them wrong. Cause I'm like, "Boy, give me that shit." And she was going through how I was totally wrong. And I'm like, God.
And she puts
She makes a lot of good points here.
She's actually putting in red, like detailed description because she knows it's in your handwriting, like you dumb fucker.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what the 10 to carry the 2? I'm like, no. I'm like, you know what? She might be onto something.
She might be right. Let me get the calculator. Fuck. You're right.
Danny, I told Rhodes she just needs to go to school and tell her teacher, hey, joke's on you. Daddy says AI is going to be out there before too long, so watch this. Hey, Google, what's the answer?
Yeah.
It's true. That's all they need to do, man.
They don't even have to go through the headache of writing it on their hands or anything, or a piece of paper.
Yeah.
World's smallest
Yeah,
fucking piece of
right?
paper.
Trying to cheat on a test was so cool like back in the day.
Yeah.
Now it's like too easy.
Yeah, you used to have to fill with socks and paper.
Yep.
Chat GPT, can you write an essay on Moby Dick? Done.
Done.
Copy paste.
Nope.
I can't say that around my house because my kids, they're like, it said dick. And they looked at me, I was like, first off, you're like 10 and you're 6. Why the fuck you laughing?
I'm like, hold on a second. I'm immature enough that I got to chuckle.
Oh, I laughed too. I looked at each other. I started laughing. She's like, I'm like, I don't know, man.
Boom, boom.
We're guys. We're hilarious. But I think that's about. You know what? Last question. Phoenix without Chris Paul. Do you think they can pull it out against Denver?
No.
Who knows?
Jamal Murray is back to what we saw in
So
the bubble.
good.
Yeah.
And this is
It
that
seems
difference,
like Denver
right?
has their key role players, right?
Yep.
Michael Carter got hurt last year. Even the year he come back, I think he got hurt again. So
Yep.
all their role players are back. They're playing the minutes they're supposed to. Nobody's being overloaded. I think no Chris Paul.
And then the Jamal Murray playing on that, right?
Right,
I mean,
he's-
Chris Paul, if he isn't back, this is not the same. And this isn't to even put anything on him. It's like you need him to orchestrate the rest of the offense because you gave up way too many You didn't give up way too many pieces when you get KD. Don't get me wrong. But all your role players are gone.
There's no depth.
Right?
Yeah.
There's no depth.
Right.
So you need to create for those other guys, you
Yeah.
know, that aren't those. So
And now you've got to, you got to pretty much win the next ones in a row to win out. You know, so.
Yeah, Denver looks like a real playoff team
yeah.
for the first time.
barring Jamal Murray. I am hanging my hat on still that one. I think they could still fall off if Jamal were to get hurt.
Yeah. He's
But
a
this
stud.
is that playoff version that we saw. We got a glimpse of, and we're like, good God, they could be unstoppable, right?
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
injury is going to be a big deal.
Yep. But yep.
Boom. Well, with all that being said, if you found us out there on the interwebs, be sure to like, subscribe, share the whole 9 yards. But where's the podcast available, Jimmer?
Anywhere and everywhere podcasts are available, Danny. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
Absolutely. And as you can see, we love to tell a good story. Doesn't matter where it comes from. We'd love to hear yours. So if you've got a good, if you've got a good story, go ahead and slide on in
To our DMs, get us that story, and we'll get it out to all the folks that want to hear it. We can omit names, anything like that, but we'd like to get it out, get a good laugh from everyone listening.
We could probably put Ruby's name on it.
Yeah,
Just like if
whatever.
you don't want a name on there, we just put Ruben's because
Yeah,
it'd be believable.
100%.
It's not an Irish Reuben.
It's not a sandwich.
That
No,
sandwich?
it pisses me off. Never had one either.
I've heard good things.
You could.
No, Reuben's never had a Reuben.
Ruben's never had a Reuben.
Yep.
He's had corn. That's for sure.
Yeah. Feeder corn. He's eating that. Right off the stock.
Oh.
All right, Miles, last question for you.
Yeah.
What shift are you on this week?
First.
Oh, interesting. All right, anyway, we're going to go ahead and wrap her up. Thank you, everybody, for listening. This is 3 Gig Sports. We out.
I've been writing, I love it. All this down around me, them a look, I